everyone, my name's Caryn and I am part of the Humane Education team here at Pope Memorial Humane Society in Dover. And our team has missed hanging out with all of you in person and visiting your schools, so we decided that we would take one of our presentations to you today. So today we're going to be thinking about kindness, and I have my helper here, Bubbins. So we've got a big Bubbins right here to remind you about what it means to be kind. You also might see some of our friends in the cat room here at the shelter who join us. So what does it mean to you to be kind? If you're watching this video with a friend or a family member, talk about what kindness means to you. Maybe someone has done something really kind for you recently, or maybe you've shown others how you can be kind. If you're not watching with a friend or family member, you can always write down an act of kindness that means a lot to you. Maybe you're thinking about playing with a friend and how that makes you both feel really good, or maybe you're thinking about taking your pet out for a walk to get some sun. There are lots of ways that we can be kind to others, and we are going to be thinking about all of those ways as we read Belly Rubbins for Bubbins. So this book is based on a true story. Bubbins is a real dog, and this book was written and illustrated by Jason Kraus and Connor DeHaan, and it was copyrighted in 2019. So we're going to learn a little about Bubbins and how he learns all about kindness. So this is Belly Rubbins for Bubbins, the story of a rescue dog. There once was a puppy named Bubbins, and all he wanted was belly rubbins. He grew up in a house where his owners were mean. He barely ate and was never kept clean. So it looks like Bubbins hasn't experienced a lot of kindness at this point in our story. So think about some ways that you could show a dog like Bubbins what kindness means. Because animals need a lot of the same things we do. Bubbins did tricks. He never barked, and he behaved each day. But when he'd roll over for belly rubbins, they'd shoo him away. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." To the corner, they said, where he sat quiet and sad, no one rubbing his belly, though he hadn't been bad. Bubbins laid on the hard floor, and he cried and cried, until his owner pointed and yelled, "Get outside." But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." Outside in the yard and behind a tall fence, he had many tough experiences, which to him didn't make sense. Bubbins lived outside for nearly 10 years, but somehow stayed loving despite his fears. Every day he told himself that he would be okay. Even in these hard times, he would find a way to play. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." Lonely and forgotten was the 10-year-old Bubbins. No one to love him or give him belly rubbins. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." So here we see Bubbins thinking about people being kind to him and giving him all kinds of yummy food and treats. One sunny morning, Bubbins awoke to find his gate left open. He'd never been outside the yard, but his spirit was still unbroken. He barked adios to the only place he had ever known. Smiling wide, he peed on the fence and was free to roam. He looks pretty happy. Walking down the street, people to the left and the right, a nice man saw Bubbins and decided to treat him right. Hey there, little buddy, you've got no parents or caller. I'm gonna take you to the shelter, so please don't holler. Bubbins jumped into the big green truck and the nice man drove away. And he said, I'm taking you somewhere. You might get a loving family one day. At the shelter, a very thankful Bubbins lived for nearly a year. People passing by the proud old dog, with Bubbins shedding only a tear. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, I'm going to get a loving family one day. Bubbins never gave up, and one day a young couple appeared. A woman with a friendly smile and a big man with a beard. The woman turned to the man and said with a sigh, I can't help but feel bad for this poor little guy. He's been through so much, and still, look at that happy face. He deserves a home. Let's get him out of this place. Bubbins jumped to his feet as the door swung open, his tail wagging so fast he was finally chosen. He knew deep down in his heart that he was finally okay because he'd been adopted by a loving family today. As he left the shelter, he thought of all his pals. They all deserved homes, even ones with the scowls. As he looked back at the shelter, he saw all the volunteers gathered. Bubbins loved them so much because they showed him his life mattered. Bubbins' tongue flapped out the window the entire ride. The man and the woman smiled and looked on with great pride. Arriving at his new home, Bubbins ran through the door. The first thing he saw were many new toys on the floor. So another way Bubbins was shown kindness was with all of these awesome toys that he got when he got to his new home. A new family to show love, they named him Bubbins. He rolled on his back and they gave him Belly Rubbins. And here we have the real Bubbins. This is the real Bubbins with his brand new family. And they lived happily ever after. So if you'd like to give our Bubbins some belly rubbins, we'd love to hear from you. This is a little project that you can do at home. You can trace your hands and decorate it. You can decorate it any way you'd like, with something that makes you happy, with an act of kindness, like being kind to people and animals. And when we receive your hands in the mail or by email or in our Dropbox, we'll go ahead and put your hand right on Bubbins so that you can rub his belly too. Information on how to send in your hand and give Bubbins some belly rubbins will follow this video. Have a lot of fun, and I hope that you talk about how you can be kind to others and how others are kind to you.